Yeah, sorry, this up here now.
Oh, Mommy, you better wait till the bus stops.
Watch it.
Oh, good.
Look at that. I seem to have landed straight in your husband's lap. Terribly sorry. They know where I come from. That'll be worth about $5.
Oh, just sit till the bus stops.
Darn fool. I'm telling you, this guy drives like a cowboy on a Saturday night, doesn't he? The end.
Well, we're almost there. See, up ahead says bus depot.
Yeah. Now, listen, the minute that this guy pulls into that depot, I want you to rush and be first in the ladies' room, okay?
What?
So we can get some paper towels and some soap. You got to change your clothes, and we got to freshen up.
Well, you didn't want us to. You said the Martins would feel sorry for us if they could see we've been traveling for days.
Yeah, well, I've changed my mind. Martins don't want to see us looking dirty and bedraggled. They'll be much nicer to us if we show up looking real good, you know?
Listen, Sarah, why don't we have a drink and we'll just put everything else aside for a while?
No, Brandon, you must go upstairs and tell Roger about the divorce right now.
Well, can't it wait till after dinner? Why spoil the night?
Roger is coming down to join us for dinner, and if you think Pamela and I are going to sit through an entire meal while he talks about all our future plans...
Well, I could change the subject.
No, Brandon. Pamela thinks that Roger already suspects that something's wrong. And the reason that he goes on about the family plans is that he's looking for some kind of reassurance, and I am not going through that agony all through dinner.
Well, I just thought it might make dinner a little less depressing, that's all.
Maybe for you, but not for me.
Well,
Brandon, you cannot go on avoiding this. Now, you must go up and tell Roger that you want to divorce me. Right now.
Hey, what do you think?
Looks terrific.
Oh, I really splurged on these daisies. What do you think? Nice?
Classy. Very classy.
Now, the candlesticks I got at the dime store, but they're not bad.
Honey, everything looks beautiful. Including you.
Here.
Okay. See.
I just hope this thing is a success tonight.
And why wouldn't it be?
Well, you know, all the food and everything, and...
Honey,
I just...
nothing is going to go wrong. You are a terrific cook. I mean, everything smells great. Relax.
I know, but Betsy and Rick don't really know each other very well.
That's the whole idea of the dinner, honey, so they can get better acquainted.
I guess. Rick's a nice guy.
And Betsy's a nice girl, so how can there be any problems?
You know, Betsy, I was just thinking, now, I probably should put in a call to Luz and Joe up in Cape Cod.
What for?
Well, tell them about the letter from Tad's sister in Los Angeles. I probably should have called them, and then I found it. But I guess they were still traveling then. Yeah.
The letter didn't say anything informative. Wasn't it just that Jenny and her mother had found out Tad was living in Pine Valley and they hoped to see him soon?
But, honey, it's the logical place for Tad to go if he was running away.
I think you did the right thing just giving the letter to Dr. Tyler.
Well, Dr. Tyler is going to take it to the police for me. He knows a lieutenant down there that he can talk to.
Mrs. Martin, I wouldn't call Ruth and Dr. Martin. It'd be a shame to interrupt their vacation, get their hopes up, at least until you know something else.
Oh, well, you're probably right.
Didn't Dr. Tyler say that he was going to have the police call out to Los Angeles?
And he said he would get back to me the minute they located Mrs. Gardner and her daughter.
Well, then you certainly should wait until Dr. Tyler calls back before you call Cape Cod.
That makes me Charlie right now.
Construction here, lady.
Yes. Well, I just don't understand why you bought it. Bonnie already has one.
Well, it was on sale.
Oh.
Besides which, whenever Devin brings her over for dinner, all she has is books and pillows to sit on. So,
I still think it's a little extravagant. I mean, before long, Bonnie won't even need it.
well, maybe we'll just keep it for ourselves.
Did you speak to Erica? I know you told Mona you were going to try.
Yeah, I did. I called her this morning.
Oh?
Oh, boy, is she one little towering rage.
Oh, why? Did Brandon lie to her again?
No, according to Erica, Brandon's perfect. It's his wife that's the problem.
Oh, she refuses to give him a divorce.
No, she said she'd go along with the divorce, but she would make it a quiet one only if certain rules were going to be adhered to. One of those being that there would be no open living with Brandon.
That must be driving Erica right up the wall.
I'm sure it does. To tell you the truth, right now I'm pulling for Sarah Kingsley. Not that I think Brandon's a prize by any means. It's just that that lady has loved him for nearly 20 years. She's put up with all his shenanigans. Yeah, I get the feeling she knows him a lot better than Erica does.
It's hard to imagine Erica putting up with the year's frustration.
Yeah. However, that may be one of the best things that could happen. Within that year, she may find out what kind of guy Brandon Kingsley really is.
Oh, you really don't want her to marry him, do you?
No, I don't. I think marrying Brandon Kingsley would be a huge mistake for Erica.
Daddy? Where's Daddy? I was doing my hair and I thought I saw the car. He's here, isn't he?
Yes, he's here.
Mom, what's the matter? Are you crying?
No, it's just something my eye. Your father is upstairs telling Roger about the divorce.
Oh. I bet Roger's going to take it really hard.
Well, would you like some tonic and lime? I feel like something myself.
Sure. You know, I just can't believe this is happening. I feel like crying myself.
Well, actually, the news is not all bad. The more I think about it, I think we really do have a fighting chance.
What do you mean?
Well, something happened today that should give me hope.
Did Daddy say something?
No. The word came from Erica Kane herself.
Erica? What did she do, call you up?
No. She came here for a little visit.
Where was I?
Well, you were out at the pool.
Well, why didn't you come get me? Well, I'm really good at telling Erica off. I could have helped you, you know.
No, that wasn't necessary. Actually, I handled her rather well without throttling her.
Well, what did she want?
Well, that was the interesting thing. She wanted to know if Brandon really had asked me for a divorce.
Wait a minute. I don't get it. She's the one that forced Daddy to ask you in the first place.
But she still wasn't sure he did it. You should have seen how relieved she was when she found out he had.
Too bad you had to tell her.
Oh. No, it did my heart a world of good to know that she trusts him so little. That is going to be a source of trouble between them.
You really think so?
Yes. Well, she doesn't trust him now. What's ahead of her? I hate to say it, but your father is not the most honest man in the world. I believe that before the year is up, he is going to drive her right up the wall.
Oh, Millie, I'm so sorry. Well, look, don't give it another thought, dear. Well, I'm just glad that Doris can bring some dinner over for you because I can't leave Joey. You know, well, you take care, dear. I'll call you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Oh, that poor Millie. Well, thank goodness she's got Doris McGill right next door so she can bring us some supper. She moved all those heavy planters and threw her back out.
If she isn't coming to dinner, I am certainly not going to leave you here alone.
Well, don't be silly. I'm perfectly capable of staying here alone. Besides, you have a date, and I wouldn't let you cancel it.
For goodness sakes, Mrs. Martin, I told you that date really isn't so important. I'd cancel it in a minute if you needed me.
Well, I don't. Honey, I'm just going to take it easy, eat when I feel like it. And that little Joey sleeping like an angel, I don't have a worry in the world.
Yes, that's the man of the hour, if you'll excuse me. Hi.
Hi. You look beautiful.
Thank you. Please, come in.
Thank you.
Mrs. Martin? This is Rick Kincaid, Mrs. Kate Martin.
Hi, Rick. I'm very happy to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mrs. Martin.
Kincaid. Now, I've known some Kincaids. Are your people from Pine Valley?
Absolutely. Whole bunch of us.
Well, there was a Kincaid who worked in the hardware store, 3 or 4 blocks down.
That's my Uncle Ned.
Oh, no. He had a younger brother, Jimmy, who was our postman.
My dad.
You are joking.
Nope.
Oh, Jimmy and I used to pass the time of day, and then I was so disappointed when he told me he was being transferred.
Oh, well, he's down at the main post office now.
Well, you tell him that Kate Martin says hello, will you?
Okay, I sure will.
I really think we better get going.
Okay, your chariot's waiting outside. I hope I see you again soon, Mrs.
I
Martin.
hope so, too.
Pleasure.
Have a good time.
Are you going to be all right now? We're just having dinner at the Sagos.
I don't want to hear another word out of you. I'm perfectly fine, dear. To be honest, I'm looking forward to being alone and relaxing. So you don't have to get home early on my account. Now run along.
Okay, bye-bye.
Have fun.
Come on, Jack.
Don't push me. Let's let the little girl up.
We don't have all day. There are people at home. Come on, down. Well, push a little bit. Let me. Good heavens, you're never going to get anywhere, girl. You don't know how to push. Excuse me.
Oh, Mom, I am so sorry about the way Bonnie behaved, throwing things and kicking and screaming. It was just off.
Honey, it's all right. We all feel like doing that from time to time.
Well, she's just been so cranky all day. I don't know. Heat, humidity.
Here you go.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, now don't tell me she's asleep.
No.
She is?
How in the world did you do it? I can't believe it. She was
It was nothing.
impossible.
It was nothing. I told her the story of Lohengrin.
Oh, you didn't.
What is
It's an
Lohengrin?
opera.
Oh.
The music is beautiful, but the story is a little... Anyway, she was... by the time I got to the second swan, her eyes were at half mast. It's usually where mine are by the time I get to that point.
You are a genius.
Thanks. I tell you the truth, I think she was a little tired to start with. Anyway, there's lots more operas. I think I'll just save them for other little problems.
Well, actually, I don't know how often we'll be getting over here anymore.
Why's that?
Oh, I don't mean that we're not going to come over at all. I just mean that it's not going to be so easy for me to just pick up Bonnie and run over here. You know, Wally is going to have a lot of free nights here on his hands pretty soon.
Well, what about the golf post?
Oh, Brooke and Tom are coming back, you know, now that the trial is over and everything.
Oh, yes, honey. I forgot to mention that. Wally was talking to Tom yesterday, Devin told me, and they're going to be coming back tomorrow, right?
Right. And believe me, I am looking forward to having a chance to have some time with my husband. I mean, I really think that Wally's hours are what have been defeating me.
Yes, well, his schedule has been impossible.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that this is just the break that I need. I mean, even Dr. Burns admitted that it would be pretty hard for me to make any progress the way things are right now.
You know, I think it's a good idea that you've been seeing Dr. Burns. Really. I mean, it's for professional help and all that, you know.
Yes, it is good, and I want Wally so badly to go with me for some marriage counseling sessions, but he's just very opposed to it.
Why is that?
Well, he feels that I am Dr. Burns' patient, and he's not.
Nevertheless,
Also, Wally feels that Dr. Burns is just treating me for alcoholism.
Isn't he?
Well, yes, he is, but I'm not just an alcoholic.
well, of course you're not, honey.
No,
It's all right. It's all right. I know it's very easy for people to think that my therapy is only directed at my drinking problem, but it's not. I mean, we do a lot of talking about my marriage, about things that I want to accomplish in my life, you know, what kind of wife and mother I want to be.
I see.
I just think it would be so helpful if Wally would go with me to a couple of these sessions.
I think it's a very good idea, too. I mean, Wally could use some counseling, too.
Yeah. But on the other hand, I understand the way he feels. I am the one who made a mess of this marriage, and I am the one who is going to have to fix it up.
Oh, Rick, you didn't have to bring anything.
Is the least I could do.
Oh, Estelle, I'm sorry. I should have brought you something, too.
Hey, you brought yourself. It's enough for any dinner party.
So, how's that little girl of yours?
Oh, she's sleeping.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I was hoping to see her.
You will. Don't worry. We'll bring her out later.
She's so adorable. Rick, have you seen her?
Oh, I sure have. She's a cute one, all right.
Now, she takes after her mom. Listen, can I get you folks something to drink before dinner?
Nothing for me, thank you.
You don't even want some of this wine that Rick brought?
I'm not much of a drinker, Benny.
Wait a minute, I got an idea. What about a wine spritzer, Benny? You know, we have some club soda in the kitchen. Oh, they're really light and they're easy, Betsy. You know, I'm not much of a wine drinker myself, but they're great in the summertime.
Okay, I'll try. Thank you.
Right.
Great. Give me a hand, Rick. I'll watch the master at work.
Great.
I'm really glad you changed your mind. You know, Rick was really upset this morning. You should have just seen him. He didn't want to bring anybody else.
Oh, Estelle, I am so sorry. You and Benny must think I'm pretty weird going back and forth like that.
No, it's really okay. Come on, sit down.
It's just that I was kind of worried about Mrs. Martin.
Oh, Dr. Martin's wife?
No, his mother. See, Dr. Martin and his wife left for vacation to Cape Cod this morning. They left their little boy with Mrs. Martin and me. I just felt kind of funny leaving her all alone the very first night they were gone.
Oh, do you think she's nervous about being there alone?
Oh, no, she's not that kind of woman at all. In fact, she insisted that I go out tonight.
Oh, Charlie, how good of you to come. But, my dear, you didn't have to drive over. Why, you could have phoned. I just been on pins and needles.
No, it's nothing, Kate, nothing. I'd rather talk to you in person than on the phone. I know how concerned you've been.
Yeah. What did the police think of the letter?
They thought it was an excellent lead.
Oh.
I've just had a call from them. I really have to hand it to the Pine Valley Police Department. They acted very quickly. They got in touch with the Los Angeles Police Department almost immediately.
Well, did they find Tad's mother?
Well, now, you have to understand that there must be an awful lot of people named Gardner in the Los Angeles phone book.
Yeah.
So they looked for not only Mrs. Ray Gardner, but they looked up his record. And they found out that his wife's name was Opal.
Oh, well, was she listed?
Yes, she was. But when they went to check out the address, it seems that she was gone.
Gone. And she gave a forwarding address?
No, I'm sorry she didn't.
Well, Charlie, are you sure they had the right woman?
It seems likely. The word is that she was living there with a young daughter.
Well, that's got to be Jenny.
Well, the police seem to think that she was the one. They checked out all the other people named Gardner.
Well, if there's no forwarding address, where do we go from here, Charlie?
I'm afraid it looks like a dead end, Kate. I'm terribly sorry, knowing how disappointed you are.
I was so sure that Tad was headed in that direction.
Well, if the Los Angeles police can't find them, I'm sure that he can't either. Maybe it'll turn him around and he'll head back home.
And to think I nearly called Ruth and Joe to get their hopes up. Thank heaven I didn't do that.
Oh, Kate, don't lose heart. This information about Tad's mother and his sister will come in handy, I'm sure.
Now, if they would take it over. Daddy!
Hi, sweetheart.
How's Roger?
He's fine. He took the news pretty well, actually. He's a little shook, but he didn't fall apart.
We raised a couple of very nice children.
Yes, we did, Sarah. I couldn't agree more.
Was Roger ready to come down now, or does he want to wait until dinner's served?
He wants to talk to you first. I said I'd tell you.
Of course. Fix yourself a drink. You probably need one.
What are you going to do now, Daddy?
Now? I'm going to fix myself a drink.
No, I mean, are you staying the night?
Well, of course. I'm having dinner with you.
I mean, what about later? Are you staying over?
Well, yes. I'll be sleeping in the guest room.
I guess this will be your last night here, huh? You only came because Mom said you had to tell Roger, right?
Yeah, well, that was the main reason, honey. Yeah.
You won't be coming to Connecticut anymore, will you?
I guess that depends on your mother.
On Mom? How can you say that?
Because I'll be wanting to come up here from time to time to see you and Roger, and I guess it just depends on how your mother feels and what she wants. I do want you to know, Pammy, that I don't enjoy hurting your mother or seeing her upset in any way.
I also know that whether you come up here depends a lot on Erica Kane, too. I bet if she had her way, you wouldn't even be here tonight.
Honey, please, let's not bring up Erica tonight, okay, please? This could be my last night, so let's not spoil it, huh?
Danny, I never want to spoil our time together.
Good, because you and I have had some real good times together, and we've got a real good thing between us, baby. I don't want to ever lose that.
There's so much I don't want to lose.
You won't. You're a very special person. I just hope that you won't be too angry with me.
Remember when I was little and you got furious with me because I ruined your good tennis racket?
Yeah, you were playing with it in the pool.
Yeah, and I remember I couldn't stop crying because you scolded me. And I remember you said, being angry with you doesn't mean I've stopped loving you.
All right, Rick, are you ready for more spaghetti? Come on now, don't be shy.
Shy? This guy? You gotta be kidding me. Well, I don't want to make a pig out of myself.
Come on.
I don't.
Look, man, you can't help it. I pig out on Stell's food all the time.
All right, enough compliments about my food. Come on.
Well.
Your plate. Let's go.
Okay.
Come on.
Things wrong. Dr. Burns tells me that I can't mention divorce until Devon's psychologically ready for it, and I don't see her get anywhere near that.
Wally, you can't push it. You could do real damage together.
Okay, but meantime, if I lose you, I'll die.
Wally, please don't say that.
I've got to. You tell me that you've got to go out and see other people. Okay, I can accept that. I hate it, but I can accept that. What I can't accept is you're telling me that you can't see me anymore, that you're backing out of my life entirely.
Wally, I have to.
No. Rather than lose you, I'll ask Devon for a divorce right now. No. The only way I'll wait is I know you'll be there for me.
Betsy, more iced tea?
Oh, yes. Yes, thank you.
You step out for a minute?
What?
Looked to me like you sort of went someplace for a while.
Oh, I guess I was doing a little worrying about Mrs. Martin.
Why? Seemed like she was in great shape.
Oh, she is. It's just that Dr. Martin and Ruth left their little boy with her, and, well, he's at an age where he can really be a handful.
Well, I wouldn't worry. Seems like that's a lady that there's not much she can't handle.
Hammerbrook, Mama.
Oh, wouldn't you know the darn thing would give out right in front of the door.
Mrs. Case, you said you and Daddy had when you first got married, huh?
I do not want you to mention one word about your daddy when we get inside of this house. You hear me? I don't want those folks ever to be reminded of him, okay? Now, you put that bag down over here and straighten out your blouse. Straighten that out. All right. I want you to knock on the door. Go on, Jenny, knock on the door. Oh, for heaven's sake, no one will hear that. Let me do it. Ow. Hi, Ms. Martin?
Yes?
Oh, good. My name is Opal Gardner, and this here is my daughter, Jenny. Well, I know this must be kind of a shock for you, us just landing here on your doorstep like this, but, well, we just couldn't go one more mile without saying hi to our darling Tad.
All My Children will continue in a moment.
Ready to faint. You mean to tell me that you had the Los Angeles police out looking for me?
Well, Mrs. Gardner, I just found the letter that Jenny wrote Tad just this morning. And I thought that for sure Tad would be trying to reach you.
Yeah, well, we have not heard one peep out of that boy. And here we come clear across this country just to get a sight of him. I know that you have adopted him, Miss Martin, but he's still my own flesh and blood. You know what I mean?
Yes, but you see, I'm not the one who adopted him. It was my son and my daughter-in-law.
Oh, I see. Well, they could not love that boy any more than I do.
Isn't that right, Jenny? Don't touch anything now, honey.
Yeah. See, it was just circumstances that tore my boy from me.
Mm-hmm. And Jenny here's been driving me absolutely wild to come see her brother, so we took off clear across this country for a reunion with him. And now you tell me that he has run off.
Yeah.
Why would he do something like that, Miss Martin? This seems like a wonderful home to me.
Oh, well, he loved this home, I can assure you, but the problem was that he was a little bit of trouble. He was at the age, you know, when things could happen.
You don't mean to tell me that my Taddy got some girl in trouble?
No, nothing like that.
Oh.
Although he did have a little girlfriend, and they broke up, and that upset him, but he started smoking marijuana.
What?
And he was in a terrible automobile accident, and he was arrested for driving without a license and being under the influence of marijuana and alcohol.
Arrested? You don't mean to tell me they put my Taddy in jail?
No, but he was due for a court hearing, and he was just scared sick about that.
Yeah.
We felt sure that he would be put on probation and allowed to come home. We felt that being a first offender, and with parents like Joe and Ruth, that the judge would think that would be the best thing for him.
Yeah. Well, I must say, I would like to have a word with your son and his wife, since they have... Jenny, now don't you take nothing unless you've been offered.
That's all right. She's welcome.
Oh, thank you. Well, say thank you nice now. Thank you. Good girl. As I was saying, I would like to have just a word with the people who have assumed responsibility for being Tad's parents, you know. Get a little accounting from them.
I'm sorry about that. They're not here. They left for their vacation just this morning.
They left for vacation? Think of that. My poor boys run off and they took a vacation.
Well, Mrs. Gardner, let me set you straight. Ruth and Joe did everything that was possible. They were under a great strain, and even the police said there was nothing more they can do. Why, my daughter-in-law was on the verge of a nervous breakdown from what she'd been going through. And you couldn't say that either Ruth or Joe ever neglected Tad in any way.
Well, isn't this something, Jenny? Here you and I travel all this way, and now we have to just turn around and go. I could have a nervous breakdown myself just thinking about this.
It's very disappointing for you, I know.
Yeah. Now, Jenny, don't you start to cry.
What, Mama?
Well, I know you're just on the verge of bursting into tears, Angel. You know, Jenny said to me when we got off of that bus, and I'm telling you, we've been on that thing for days. She said to me, Mama,
I cannot wait to lay my head on a decent bed tonight.
Well, certainly you don't want to get back on a bus tonight.
No, we do not, but I don't know what else we can do. See, I had kind of figured that Tad's folks might want to accommodate us, but never dreamt we wouldn't have shelter for the night. But, well, Tad gone, I
Oh,
don't...
my dear, I can accommodate you just as well. You don't have to have Tad here.
Oh, no, we couldn't possibly put you out. Besides which, I don't know what kind of room you got here.
Well, we've got plenty of room. In fact, you could stay in Tad's room.
Is that room big enough for 2 people?
Yes, it has twin beds.
Well, you hear that, Jenny? You won't be crying on my shoulder tonight after all.
Of course not. Would you like to go up now and freshen up?
No. Actually, what we need to find is some place to get a little something to eat, you know. Is there perhaps a neighborhood restaurant or something around here? Not too expensive, though, because my daughter and I are on kind of a tight budget.
No, there's no need for that either, because I have a dinner in the kitchen.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we can't have you making dinner for us. You weren't expecting 2 extra mouths. You probably don't even have enough.
Oh, in this house there's always plenty of food. And it just so happens that I fixed dinner tonight for 3 people, and 2 of them canceled out on me.
No. Well, isn't that a coincidence, Jenny? Still, we don't like to impose, do we, Dawn?
Well, it will be no imposition. I would love to share it with you.
Well, what do you say then, Jenny? Should we take Ms. Martin up on her kind offer of a meal?
Sure, Mama. Thank you, Mrs. Martin. We'd be real happy to have dinner with you.
Well, that's good. Now, I'll go right up and warm things up.
Well, thank you very kindly. Sure looks like we hit it right this time, Jenny.
She's really a sweet lady, Mama.
Who cares about sweet? The important thing is the woman is rich. I could tell when I looked around this neighborhood. The Martins are loaded. Your old daddy was right about one thing in his life, man. Yeah, it looks like we have landed ourselves a genuine gold mine here.
Rick, you really don't have to walk me to the door.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
What I mean is I'm not going to be able to invite you in or anything.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that. I sure do like these big old-fashioned porches. They don't make them like this anymore. You notice that? Yeah, nowadays, hardly have room to get in and out of the rain. I like big porches. Nice place to sit on a summer night.
Well, I can't do that either. Look, I have to get up very early tomorrow morning, so if you don't mind, I just as soon say goodnight.
Sure. Listen, how was the evening? It wasn't that bad, was it?
Oh, it was lovely. I mean, the Sagos couldn't have been nicer. It was a lovely dinner.
Yeah. Sagos, yeah. What I meant is, like, how about, me?
Rick, I had a very pleasant evening. I don't know what you want me to say.
Tell you to go out with me tomorrow night.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Well, how about a rain check then? You know, rain check.
Yeah, okay.
You will?
Yeah.
Great! Well, that's all I need for now. I'll be talking to you soon.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Well, I can tell that guy's really crazy about her. Do you see how he couldn't take his eyes off her all night?
You know, he was talking to you, but I thought I'm sneaking a look over at her.
Well, believe me, I know the feeling. When I first fell in love with you, I couldn't stop looking at you.
I guess the feeling's gone, huh?
Not in your life. Oh, I still love looking at you.
Wasn't it wonderful? We had a party in our very own apartment. I was really proud of you, you know. I think you're a wonderful host.
Well, thank you, baby. I think everybody had a good time. Evening was a success.
Well, I don't know about that from Rick's point of view.
Why, what do you mean? Well, Betsy was nice to him. I mean, she didn't act cold or turn him off or anything. She even laughed at that funny story he told about the guy and the scaffolding and all that.
I know. She was distracted. She was someplace else.
Well, I guess now that you mention it.
You know, Rick was saying she's hung up on somebody else.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned that.
Well, I think that's what it was. I think she's thinking about that other guy.
Betsy, wait a minute.
Wally, you scared me.
I'm here for my answer, Betsy.
What do you mean? Does Devin know you're over here?
And never mind. I'm at the end of my rope. I've got to know what you've decided.
Wally, I need time to think this through.
What is there to think about? It's how you feel that matters.
No, Wally, there are 3 people involved. There's Devin, there's you, there's me. I should say 4. Bonnie's in this, too. Look, I can't make a decision affecting all of us just like that.
I can't go on much longer, Bets. It's all I can do not to tell Devin.
Wally, please, give me to tomorrow, huh? I'm really afraid about this whole thing.
Afraid? Of loving me?
No. Of making a hasty decision. Ruining people's lives.
Betsy, I don't mean to get you frightened or upset. But honestly, my life is just empty this way. I cannot go on with this charade of a marriage unless I know you're going to be waiting for me. Betsy, just help me make it through this night. Tell me that you still love me.
Well, you know I do.
Crap.
Yes.
Want a sandwich?
No, thank you, Mr. Piggy. Hey, now, because I noticed that Devin forgot to take Bonnie's shoes.
Oh, that's my fault. I forgot him when I carried her out to the car. I'll take care of him.
I'll do that.
No, I'll drop him off tomorrow. I have the time.
You know, you were really good with Bonnie. Do you realize that? I mean, she was an absolute tyrant, but you just calmed her right down.
She's a terrific kid.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, you know, that was a pretty strange reaction you gave to that high chair.
What do you mean?
Well, when I said we might use it ourselves.
Oh, I don't remember what I said.
You looked startled, and then you changed the subject.
Oh, yes, I was surprised. I mean, I'd never given the subject much thought, so I didn't think there was any point of going on.
Oh, I think it's pretty important. You're not opposed to our having a child, are you?
Mark, the idea has never occurred to me. I am a grandmother.
I know, but I've just been thinking about it a lot lately, and I don't know, being around Bonnie, I sort of get the feeling that it might be great to have, a child of our own. I just think that the whole thing is fantastic. I mean, it really knocks me out.
Me too. Particularly coming out of the blue like that.
Well, then it's not out of the question, is it?
Well, no, it's awfully sudden. We don't have to start with the baby tonight, do we? We've got to give this some more thought.
Yeah, but I think we ought to start thinking about it.
All those big soft towels. I helped myself to some of that other stuff in there, too. I put on some of that toilet water and that bath powder. Can you smell it?
Oh, Mama, you shouldn't have done that.
Why not? Jenny, you don't even understand rich people, why they provide these things for their guests. Didn't you hear Miss Martin just tell us to help ourselves to anything we needed?
Well, I guess so. She sure is a nice lady, huh?
Yeah.
That was the best dinner I ever had in my life, I think.
Yeah. To think that my son was stupid enough to run away from this place.
Well, I can see where he'd feel bad about hurting them after they were so good to him.
I tell you, it is a wonder to me that they didn't kick him out of here, getting himself messed up with that marijuana.
Oh, but they love him, Mama. You heard Mrs. Martin say how much they want him back.
Yeah. Well, he can take his time about coming back, too, as far as I'm concerned, because I'm certainly going to enjoy this room of his.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm starting to like it here, and I intend to stay.
Mama, what are you saying? We can't stay past tonight.
Why not?
Well, we were only invited for one night. There's just no reason now with Tad not being here.
Oh, don't you worry about that. I can work something out. Oh, that old lady doing handstands keep us here.
Mama, you can't. She's a nice lady. You can't put her out like
The
that.
hell I can't. You just watch me, girl.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. Haven't figured out my plan yet. But I'll think it's something to twist that old dame's arm.
I wish you wouldn't talk about Mrs. Martin like that. She's really a sweet lady, Mama. I've never known anyone like her in my life. Hate for her to think badly of us.
Would you stop this? You're always putting other people's feelings in front of your mama. You're such a scaredy cat. You're always worrying about what people are going to think.
It's not that, Mama. It's just that if someone's nice to me, I want to be nice
Just
back.
hush up your mouth with this stuff, would you please, and get into that bed? I'm tired of all your mealy-mouthed worries. Now, I know how to handle that old woman, and she is not going to feel bad about either one of us. Get into that bed. I'm going to have that woman eating out of my palm. You just wait and see if I don't.
This is David Hartman. Next week, Melvin Dumar, Maureen Dean, and Fanny Fox talk about how instant fame affected their lives on Good Morning America.
Tomorrow on 8 is Enough, David and Janet stun the family by splitting up. And aboard the Love Boat, a lovely sunbather fights for her right to take it off in public. Then on Fantasy Island, Roark turns Tattoo into a great artist, complete with a beautiful model. Can Clint stop Vicky's marriage to Ted?